What's up, y'all? JDB Sports, live on all three platforms tonight. Let's go. More optimized stream. Hopefully, we can get 10 more viewers on this one. We have week 2 predictions. Week 1's in the books. We'll go over how we fared, but if Peyton, you want to hit some of that breaking news, you see you want to pass through it. Junior, what's up? How you doing? Cito Dollars, what's up?
What up, Junior? What up, Junior? Get those Fortnite skills good and come back. All right, breaking into some news here. Tyreek Hill accused of more domestic violence. Not his first time, probably not his last. Hope he, figures it out personally. He likes having babies and beating women. That is not a good combo. And again, serious issue. More to hear from that. You got anything to say about that one, Alex?
Cito Dollars says go pack go.
No, Cito Dollars says go pack go, and then Junior says what news? We're going over the NFL breaking news. As far as him being accused of domestic violence, I'm honestly not surprised. It's crazy. It was a 17-month marriage, if I'm not mistaken, and Tyreek, you gotta do better than that, man. You are, I think we said this before, one of the dumbest active players in the NFL.
Yeah, just all the stuff he does off the field and on the field as well. He's not making a good case. Next up, Tank Bigsby, traded from the Jaguars to the Eagles, 5th and 6th rounder. Jaguars didn't use him week 1, and in all honesty, I would want out as well, especially when you're in a new system. You were the leading rusher last year for the Jaguars. I think him getting out was the right move there.
Yeah, I agree. It just seems like somebody said this before, but the Eagles are just horny for running backs, it seems like these days.
Yeah.
Please go for Saquon's job or something. I don't know. Maybe
Tito says Brandon looks like he's just here, so he doesn't get in trouble.
I think it's a good depth piece for him for sure. And Will Shipley has looked fine as the backup, but he was a little banged up as well. So I definitely think it's just another depth move.
Yeah, I see the right. It's the right move. Wolf Tato says Braden looks like he's just here so he doesn't get fined. Point AKA Marshawn Lynch.
Okay. He's learning as we go and everything like that, and he's got some predictions
we all got to
that he did well on last week. So we'll get into that in a little bit.
Get in that Kittle Skittles news.
Oh, yeah, the Kittle Skittles. Poor Kittle's hamstring blows up on him. He's out 4 weeks. Looks like Brock Purdy's kind of following suit with a toe and non-throwing shoulder sprain. We'll see how he fares in getting into this game against the Saints this weekend. And Brock Bowers kind of facing an injury as well for the Raiders. He has a knee sprain. Drake London, he's dealing with a shoulder issue. Looks like an AC sprain. He should be good for the next game. And then, besides that, Russell Wilson's still looking to start for the Giants in week 2.
Wait, Peyton.
Yeah.
P. Dizzy, what about Caleb Williams overthrowing every ball last night on the Monday night game?
Oh, well, we'll get to that in a bit. And honestly, I was going to talk about how disappointed I was in Caleb last night, but...
Disappointed in the entire Bears team. They had the lead, but we'll talk about that more, like you said. Let's get through the rest of this news we got going on, and then we'll get right to it. But when you said his hamstring blew up on him, it reminded me of freaking SpongeBob's anchor arms, where they just blew up. Welcome in, everybody. How y'all doing? You got the Quinson Judkins. He should be ready for week 2 after signing his deal. So good to see that. Love to see it finally. Isn't
William Colin says hi, Tia.
Junior says hi to you. Judkins, well, it was a fully guaranteed contract, right?
I believe so, and I believe it was semi-short term, just kind of due to how everything's going. So
we also got Jameson Williams getting a 3-year, $83 million deal from the Lions. Hate him just to throw some more interceptions, man. Let's see what happens.
William Colin says Dad said he may pick us up next week.
In all honesty, that's a really hefty price for him, in my opinion. Just not seeing him in this current scheme yet, and then giving him a huge extension. I feel like they could have waited. And some other extensions to bring up real quickly. Cam Hayward, he got a $3 million increase in his deal this season with incentives.
Yeah, that
Amani Hooker. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, the Cam Hayward deal actually broke just after our last stream, Wednesday night, I believe. So glad he finally got his money, and it's a solid D tackle for the Steelers that'll surely need it in that division with their running backs and what they got going on there. So sorry, back to the Amani Hooker. My bad, man.
No, you're all good. No worries there. Amani Hooker, kind of rounding out these defensive deals a little bit. Gets a 3-year, $49 million extension from the Titans. Nick Bonito getting 4 years, $106 million as an outside linebacker for the Broncos. He balled out this weekend against Cam Ward. And then Zion McCollum also playing a really good game against the Falcons this past weekend. He got a 3-year, $48 million extension for the Buccaneers. And then kind of wrapping up some news here, Xavier Worthy, of course, went down with a dislocated shoulder. He's out at least 3 weeks. And then Jake Moody getting cut from the Niners, and they replace him with Eddie Pinheiro.
Yeah, Moody's been pretty awful as of late. And Pinheiro, I'm not really sure it's going to be much better, but we'll see. Can only hope. Xavier Worthy on a dislocated shoulder. Fantasy owners are crying right now who drafted him. I've seen somebody online drafted him, I think, first overall. Something crazy. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was pretty high up there, not gonna lie. It wasn't first overall, of course, but it was pretty high up there, and I'm sure he's fighting the air right now. So let's go ahead. Let's get into that week 1 recap. We can start with the Eagles versus Cowboys, 20-24 win for Philly.
Yeah. You wanna start us off here?
Yeah, I'll go off the skew a little bit. Dak Prescott was fine. It was just the drops from CD, in my opinion. That offense, like you said before, is going to definitely be top 5, in my opinion. Defense was kind of horrid, but I mean, they locked down AJ and Devontae Smith pretty well. Basically playing decent coverage, and I think you said AJ was more of a blocker, if I'm not mistaken. More or less just trying to get after that rush. But Dallas's defense was actually formidable somewhat, not gonna lie. I mean, they're limited in Saquon Barkley. A lot of tackles for losses in the backfield. Can't really complain about it. Just Eagles looking kind of shocked out there right now. Not the best team that was last year. So
yeah, and kind of going over this a bit more. Again, Alex had a differing opinion from Brandon and I last week on this game. Seeing that the Cowboys were upset material, and honestly,
it was close.
They were. Yeah, they could have had the upset with a couple more held on passes. My biggest takeaway of the night is the Eagles were not impressive on offense or defense, in my opinion, and they really lucked out with I'd say below average opponent in the Cowboys. Of course, Dak played his butt off, but again, this corner room looks very, very thin. And the offense in general, Kevin Patullo didn't do a good job.
Nathan says Mark Andrews or Jawan Johnson.
Mark Andrews or Jawan Johnson from the comments, Nathan says.
Jawan Johnson got 11 targets, I believe, in his most recent game. They figure they want to use him a lot. I think Jawan would be a great choice there. And Mark Andrews, he does seem phased out of the offense a little bit, and that could have been because of game script, but in a tight game, you would expect a little more opportunities for Mark, especially in the first half.
Yeah, for your somewhat sure-handed tight end. I mean, we're not going to talk about his dropped pass last year, but
says thoughts on Judkins.
RB1? Thoughts on Judkins RB1 from Bones McClanahan. What do you think?
I think they're going with the side of talent in this regard. I'm not going to say too much about his off the field stuff, but as far as on the field goes, he's a stud. I believe he was the second highest or third highest drafted running back in the draft. My apologies, but you're siding with talent here, and you hope he can give that running room a boost, because the room of Dylan Sampson, Jerome Ford, and Pierre Strong is not that good.
Yeah, heard it there first.
Chiefs
Chargers. Basically, the game that put me to 500 because I started 0-1 because I picked the Cowboys to win.
Says thanks.
No problem, Bones. Nathan also said Judy Diggs need at the flex PPR.
I would still lean Judy right now.
Nathan
Diggs is still being worked into the offense.
The flex PPR.
And you see Cedric Tillman becoming a bigger part of that offense, but Judy's still at a good amount of action. And I feel like he's going to be heavily involved this week, them being 10.5-point dogs to the Ravens. They should be passing a lot.
I'm gonna say about the Chiefs and Chargers real quick since we're back on that one. The Chiefs and Chargers, that game was basically textbook. It was
Nathan says thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem, Nathan. But it was textbook Chiefs Chargers. Appreciate the follow, Nathan. Thank you so much on TikTok. Appreciate you. The Chiefs and Chargers have been, that back and forth type of team where you love to see them get after it. Justin Herbert, Marion Hampton, Vlad McConkey, they were putting up a decent game. Loved what the Chargers did. Herbert scrambling for that final drive to put the Chiefs away. I had Chargers winning all over it. I just don't think the Chiefs are the same as what they were last year. I feel like they'll definitely have that hangover after losing the Super Bowl. So predict them to go 10-7 this year, pre-draft, or I believe.
Did we all lose that prediction from last week?
No,
Alex picked the Chargers.
Yeah, I picked the Chargers. Let's go.
Yeah, and Brandon and I took the Chiefs, and to say about that, their secondary looks so bad outside of Trent McDuffie the whole game. Chargers use their wide receivers the most out of any team in week 1, and I feel like that's a recipe going forward with Greg Roman. Passing over expectation was a big part of how we won our week, play action, and I feel like this is good Chargers momentum going forward into the Chiefs. I don't know. I don't know. Super Bowl regression is definitely there. They are not the same team.
Yeah. Like I said, same. I don't believe they would be. Brandon, what do you think about the Chiefs? You think they're gonna get back to the Super Bowl and maybe get some revenge if Philadelphia gets back in there? Been seeing that Green Bay is the favorite in the NFC these days.
Oh no, is it the audio?
Is it the audio? Yeah.
Might be the audio issues. Well, he's working that out. I think we get to the stinker of the week in Cardinals Saints.
A lot closer than I would have imagined, to be honest with you. I think I had the Saints scoring like 3 or 6 points, to be honest. Overall, it's bad. Honestly, I didn't think the Cardinals would let them be in the game as long as they did. Two bad teams, just to say the least. I hate to say it. I still think the Cardinals go 8-9, 9-8, or whatever, but they eke one out against the Saints. Maybe we're too hard on the Saints and Kellen Moore's system in his first year, so. You said, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Saints are going to be behind a lot. I was actually impressed with their defense and offensive play calling. I think Kellen Moore did a fine job keeping Spencer Rattler out of a lot of trouble throughout the whole game. He missed a couple shots. There was a touchdown to Juwan Johnson that was broken up really well. And I just feel like the Saints offense in general is going to be solid-ish, but again, you factor in the quarterback room. Spencer Rattler's not going to do anything crazy. And Cardinals eke one out here in a gross one.
Brandon, we got you back? No?
Oh.
You're going to have to try to switch your output again.
Yeah, could work there. Getting on to Colts-Dolphins here in a 33-8 shellacking.
Not surprised. Well, actually very surprised.
Yeah, I thought the Dolphins were going to be bad this year, but I did not expect Tua to miss timing throws within the system that was built around him. I didn't expect the pressure to get to him like it got to him. And the Colts, in all honesty, scored on pretty much every one of their offensive drives. So I think it's crazy that it was this big of a blowout. However, Colts are looking solid. That defense looks massively improved. And if they can get their offense in line, there they go.
Brady, it sounds like you're in a wind tunnel just a little bit. Man, I turned you down. It's no biggie. But what I'm going to say is Daniel Jones isn't good. I don't care. This was just a bad Dolphins team, a bad Dolphins defense, in my opinion. A good Shane Steichen system. Daniel Jones is fitting somewhat
Willis
well with
over
that.
Says, can y'all rate my team?
What's your team, Willis? Drop him down.
Yeah,
he
please.
Says, can we rate him?
Yeah, please do. And kind of piggybacking off your Daniel Jones real quick, I thought he worked really well within the system. He actually played a great game. I just, again, how much can you keep it up?
Yeah, honestly.
That's the question I ask.
take this as your Super Bowl Colts, because I don't think it's going to be. I don't think there's going to be games like this going forward. This is I'm picking against you just about 9 times out of 10 throughout the year, so we'll see.
Fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough.
Brandon, are you back? Are you okay?
Am I back?
Oh, he's back.
You are back.
Oh, I'm
All right.
back. Okay.
What do you think about Danny Dimes slinging on the field 3 total touchdowns in this week 1 victory versus the Dolphins? I was about to say the Colts. Yeah, they're playing themselves, right? This ain't Madden. All right, what do you think about it? You got any opinions? I mean, if not, we
William
can get
Collins says crazy.
Crazy indeed, man.
I didn't get to see it, but I'm shocked.
33-8, dude.
Yeah, he said he didn't get to see it. Yeah. Sympathies. That poor Dolphins defense, man. It is what it is. They lost so many pieces in free agency. You know, you got Javon Holland as one. But not to keep going on them and harping on. Let's go to these Raiders and Patriots in a game that I honestly did not decide. Well, I did not see the Raiders winning, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not see the Raiders winning that. 20-13 win over the Patriots. I honestly, I'm appalled at what we've seen out of Ashton Genty. What was it, 38 total yards on the ground for him? And he's a top 5 pick, dude.
Yeah.
Or 6 pick, I believe it was 6 for the Raiders, right?
Yeah, it was their 6th pick.
Yeah.
William Collins says.
I think this was one I got right.
I don't know. I think, you know, the running game was ineffective completely from the get-go. The offensive line did not look good in any regard. I think Geno was being pressured on north of 38% of his dropbacks, so that's above league average there. He was their whole entire offense, and I'm not going to take Genty's first game and run away with it and say he's going to be a bad running back, you know, because that's not true. Marion Hampton was inefficient against the Chiefs, you know, against a good run defense, and the Patriots heavily invested in their run defense with Robert Spillane, Milton Williams, and through the draft as well. So again, I think it's a good win for the Raiders just because it's an ugly one. And again, their defense came to perform and provided actually great pressure against Drake May and friends. So I don't mind it for the Raiders.
Drake May and friends. Appreciate the likes on live on TikTok, guys. You guys really popping off tonight. Willis says Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall, Jamar Chase, Zay Flowers, Zach Ertz, and Emeka Ibuka. I believe it's his fantasy team. I'd say it sounds pretty decent. I'm not a fantasy player, though, but Pete, you take that away, man. You're the fantasy guy.
That's a beast of a team. I would look to improve your tight end, maybe get a little better than Zach Ertz just because of the boom bust potential that he carries.
Zach Ertz is JD5's number 1 target, it seems like, in most circumstances, but I digress on that. When he said Young Wei Koo is his kicker as well.
Oh,
HB
drop
says
him,
the majority
please,
of those
after
likes
the
are from
performance he
New
had. But yeah, there's a lot of good tight ends to look at right now. Harold Fannin, Juwan Jennings, Brenton Strange. So I'd look there just because, again, in this new Commanders offense, you're looking at a spread with Zach Ertz, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, and then you also have the receiving backs as well. So with the Commanders offense, I really like Jaden personally, and then Deebo as a flex play, and that's about it right now, just because other players are too highly valued for my liking. But I love the team. I'll say that.
Much appreciated. HB said, yeah, the majority of those likes are for me. Appreciate you, HB, stopping in. Willis said he also has Mark Andrews, if I didn't say that before, so.
Yeah. Mark Andrews also boomer bust weeks.
Let's just hope if Mark Andrews can actually start holding on to the ball these days. I mean, he's getting a little older now, he's a little slow, but we'll see how it goes. No problem, Willis. Appreciate you and the engagement, man. But let's go ahead and get on the Steelers Jets in a game that honestly nobody thought it was going to be this crazy, this close. The Jets were looking like a dumpster fire, as they always have been, but Steelers defense was kind of bust in this game. Really let the Jets keep it close. They played well. 34-32 score, and I believe it was, what was it? You want to talk more about that one, man?
Yeah.
I guess I cut out.
All good. Aaron Rodgers, 229 yards, 4 touchdowns off the top of my head. Justin Fields had about 3 himself. it was a quarterback masterclass, and Steelers normally owning rushing quarterbacks in their career against Lamar Jackson. They've been good. And Jalen Hurts, they've been good in games they've played interdivision. I think it's just, the Steelers are becoming a little bit overrated as far as their defense goes. You get an aging TJ Watt, you get a bunch of corners outside of Jalen Ramsey who are uninspiring, and then you lose your best safety in Deshaun Elliott right now, where you pick up Jabril Peppers in free agency. So kudos to the Jets offensive staff. I know Tanner Engstrand's been working really well with Justin Fields, and that offense got it looking fine-tuned. But the Jets and Steelers defenses both could not tackle.
Yeah, that's one of the main fundamentals they're teaching in these off-season programs. So at the same time, you do go playing in practice and OTAs without being able to heavy hit tackles, and sometimes not, and sometimes padless and helmetless. So let's get on to the next game. We got Giants Commanders, 21-6 win for the Commanders. Love to see it. Giants just looked unable to do anything all day. The defensive line for the Commanders was up in Russell Wilson's face about on maybe 90% of his dropbacks for the most part. Did kind of loosen up on Neighbors at the end in the second half, which I wasn't going to say it was going to make the game really close, but just love what the Commanders are doing. I really don't have too many bad takeaways on that one, other than Josh Connolly maybe gave up a sack, I think, to Brian Burns, but then again, he just got straight whiffed. But he held his own for the most part. I think it was only one pressure and one sack allowed all day to Burns. And then Coleman was handling his own against Dexter Lawrence one-on-one, which was insane to see. I think left guard is that man's true position.
Yeah. And honestly, I would say your guys' performance outside of the box score a little bit. Again, a 21-6 win is nothing to scoff at. It could have been more. Oh, yeah. The only things I would say the Commanders didn't do as well as I hoped is, of course, getting Terry involved coming off the hold-in. But again, you distributed a Debo perfectly fine. And the storylines are more about the Giants in this game, and they're not going to be able to protect anyone back there. They clearly have a bottom 3 offensive line in football and played a horrible game against the Commanders. It doesn't
really matter to what it doesn't really matter what they do. At the same time, I'm gonna speak just a little bit more on that Terry McLaurin hold-in thing. It seems like the timing was completely off. I mean, it's what happens when you don't have him for the majority of the offseason because he's holding out for a contract. I mean, some of the balls JD replacing were about 6 to 7 inches, maybe even a foot in front of him. That he was wide open on a go route where JD just overthrew him. I guess accounting for Debo's speed because they've had the whole offseason together. So
yeah.
I'm just assuming
it's a timing thing for sure.
And they'll get it down. No big deal. I'm not really worried about it. Would have liked to see more of a cleaner game from JD as far as accuracy is, but like you said, it's something they'll get down. First game of the season, working on all the bugs and jitters. Honestly, I said this game was going to be within a field goal because that's usually how it goes with Giant games. No team's usually blowing out the other. You'd have to go back to 2014-ish to find a game like that. Whereas the Giants blew us out personally. Remember that. Fortunately, Colt McCoy starting, and it was just awful. But either way, let's go ahead and get on. I mean, Brandon, do you have any thoughts on the Commanders-Giants game? I know you didn't really get a chance to see due to your predicament, but we have you here. What you thinking?
Nope, not really.
Really? Yeah, even though both New York teams lost today. I mean, it was close to being a third New York team, so New York's just taking all these L's right now, and is what it is. Let's hope they get better next week.
Just that my prediction was right.
Your prediction was right.
We want to talk about L's. We'll talk about Brandon's Panthers taking the L 10-26.
No, we don't have to.
No, it was bad. It was bad.
Jaguars.
Why did you get to watch that?
I'm pissed about it because honestly, I wanted the Panthers to win. Bryce Young is looking terrible for this first week. Honestly, I was so high on him, but he was just. It was bad, man. It was hard to watch. Honestly, I was glad when Red Zone flipped off of the Panthers game because it was just that bad, in my opinion.
Weather delay.
God. You can't lose to the Jags.
Baker
they
says,
stink.
should I give Andrews one more chance this week?
Don't talk about the Jags, the division winners like that.
Man, the Titans are still winning the division. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Should I give Andrews one more chance this week? Says Baker.
Connor G says Hunter Henry is my one. Jawan Johnson.
It's a really
Harold
tough
Fannin,
matchup.
or Brendan
He's
Strange
playing
for
the
rest of
Cleveland
season as
Browns.
backup.
You can, but Ravens are not going to be passing a lot, especially in a game like this where they're going to be up, in my estimation, by a good margin. I think they just run the ball. So, in all honesty, I would lean away from Andrews, and especially because likely he's trying to work his way back in pretty soon to the lineup.
I feel like, personally, this Browns game is going to be, like you said, running the ball. I think it's going to be a really defensive matchup. But Connor also said Hunter
Baker
Henry is my
says,
number
should I go
one.
with
Jawan Johnson is
or
2.
anyone else?
Harold Fannin or Brendan Strange the rest of the season is backup.
Ooh.
This is turning
Honestly,
into a fantasy draft, man.
I'm not very fond of carrying 3 tight ends on active roster. In my opinion, Fannin could probably pay off the best out of anyone besides Jawan Johnson there. Hunter Henry, in my opinion, is a great tight end. However, I don't trust the Patriots pass catchers. In all honesty, they haven't had a wide receiver 1 in what seems like forever. And the only tight end that was ever good was Gronk with them for a while. And ever since, it's been iffy.
Baker also said, should I go with Johnson or waivers on anyone else?
I would stick with Jawan Johnson. I think that's a solid guy there to have as your backup.
Plus, he just got paid. Produce.
He did get paid. And again, like, I think his 11 or 12 targets, and he missed a touchdown at that and still could have been tight end 1. So again, I love Jawan Johnson there for sure.
If you didn't see the Jawan Johnson short, go look at it on our page, guys. Yeah, on a few, but it's still there. We cover everything.
Still vibing. Only other takeaway I'll say from this Panthers game is Liam Cohen was cooking. It just looks like Trevor Lawrence has to get used to the timing of the offense and getting him more comfortably to his playmakers. But let's move on. Bengals Browns.
Oh yeah, the community.
All right.
Bengals Browns, a shocker. 17-16 win for the Bengals. Browns start another season 0-1, another week 1 stinker. Honestly, the Bengals, no defense.
Really?
No defense.
Really? I thought they played better than I expected them to play on defense, especially coming up with that turnover late that was off Cedric Tillman's hands.
But then against the Browns you're talking about. It's the Browns. You got old man Flacco.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I'm just saying
they're number 1 to number 2.
The Browns should have won. Sorry, what?
No, that wasn't me. I think Brandon was saying something.
No, I know.
Oh, you didn't?
Wait, what'd you say about? Did you say Shadur?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's their 3rd string.
Shadur is doo-doo butt. I mean, he was injured, right? I think that's when he got the placement. He was behind Dylan Gabriel. Honestly, I'm surprised about.
He would be QB3 regardless, in my opinion. And I don't know, the Browns would have won that game if their kicker didn't miss the PAT and the kick at the end, the 36-yarder. So,
dude, they're just hating on Deion's son. You already know what it is. You already know what it is.
Nah.
Primetime son. All right. Should I give away Henry for Chase and Chuba? Says Michael, and then Baker says, any thoughts on Nico's performance?
Michael says, should I give away
Jamar
Henry
Chase
for
and Chuba Hubbard? Take that in an instant if you're receiving those 2. And what else you say? Sorry.
Any thoughts on Nico Collins' performance? I believe
Nico should be fine.
Baker says, any thoughts on Nico's performance?
If you do have Nico, I would hold him, and if he has a boom week next week, then maybe try to move off of him, just because you're not going to get the value you want from him. And the Texans really had a horrible game against the Rams offensively. Like, they were behind the sticks. Their average yards to go on 3rd down was over 10, which is insane.
Finn also said J.K. Dobbins for Dylan Sampson? Question mark. What you thinking?
Ooh, you have Judkins coming back. Dobbins, I feel like you can get more value out of him by waiting. Dobbins doesn't look like he's going anywhere in this offense as of first couple weeks.
Finn, Prestridge says DeAndre Swift for Dylan Sampson.
DeAndre Swift for Dylan Sampson. Honestly, no. I'm me personally. I'm not a fantasy guy. I'm not banking on DeAndre Swift.
I would keep
Raul
Swift for
says,
now. I think you can get more value out of him.
Trade him now and for
he had a lot of catches. However, he wasn't super efficient with those catches. I feel like that will go up in the future.
Should I hold K9 for
Martin
one more
says,
week or trade him now?
Coleman,
and for who?
Sampson for Sockwin.
Hold him.
McConkey,
I have
Sutton.
K9 as well on my
Thoughts?
roster,
I
man.
have
I
GT
feel you.
as well.
I would say they're trying to work him into the offense more for now. I don't think
Baker
he's going
says
to pay
this is a
off
bad
at his
trade,
round
right?
3,
I give
4
JT
price
for
tag.
Kelsey and McMillan.
However, you can't really get value out of him by trading him now, in my opinion.
I traded Bijan, Coleman, Sampson for Saquon, McConkey, and Sutton. Thoughts? I have Genty as well.
I really like it. Good stuff. Good deal.
And yet, Baker says this is a bad trade, right? I give JT for Kelsey and McMillan. I like McMillan though.
No, don't give JT up. The only reason he was out the last drive was because they were up so big. Expect closer game for the Colts. Him to be leaned on more and score
Brownie
more.
says start Higgins
Kelsey's
and
gonna
Hollywood
fizzle out
Brown
after
over DJ
Rice
Moore and
gets
Demario
back.
Douglas. Have Kean Coleman in flex.
There's more.
Good.
Start Higgins and Hollywood Brown over DJ Moore and Demario Douglas.
Yes.
Have Keon Coleman in flex.
Yes.
The Peyton Spencer fantasy draft. Let's go. The JDB Sports fantasy draft. All right.
Sorry, man. I know a little bit. Let's get on to Bucks Falcons.
I'm fine with it. Keep it going. Let's go.
Heck
All right. Bucks Falcons in a game that I predicted the Buccaneers, I believe, to win.
I think both you guys picked the Buccaneers to win.
Yeah, I think you picked Falcons, but at the same time, it's one of those divisional games that go either way. I just got to say this on the Falcons side. Michael Penix blew me away. He looked fun. He looked fine. He looked better, way better than last year. Especially zipping the balls to the outside and over the middle. He looked pretty.
Low says
pretty
start
prime.
one at flex. Kean Hollywood.
He did look pretty good, and I'll give
PPR.
some shout to Penix there. I think he would have won the game had Drake London been healthy on the final drive, or just they had a better kicker than Younghoe Koo missing that kick there at the end to tie it up to go to OT.
I mean, I was saying in my head, I was like, Younghoe Koo's gonna miss this. He's gonna miss this after he got iced. Everybody's saying how he's so ice in his veins and automatic. I'm just like, nah. Younghoe Koo's gonna miss it. Sure enough, he did. Lowe said start one at flex, Keon Hollywood or Tet full PPR.
Man, who do the Panthers play? Panthers play Cardinals this
Crooked
week.
Lion says, should I get Mooney, Cedric Tillman, or Hollywood
Hollywood's
Brown?
just going to be Hollywood's your safest option. Tet is your most explosive option there. And then I'm kind of off Keon a little bit this week because he's facing Jets.
Appreciate the follow, Brownie, and
BSTJQERTV says trade neighbors
no
for
worries.
CD.
Hey, blow us up
And
with the
then JCM
fantasy,
or
I guess,
K9
man.
at
I
RB2.
could cook.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Should I get Mooney, Cedric Tillman, or Hollywood Brown?
Low says
Hollywood.
appreciate you guys saluting
Hollywood.
face.
No problem, Low. What'd you say, Peyton?
Hollywood Brown. Hollywood's going to be a really good choice until Rasheed comes back because he has that whole slot role.
All right, this is a doozy right here. Trade Neighbors for CD Lamb and then JCM or K9 at RB2.
I would do the first one. I would go after Lamb for sure. But
JCM.
honestly, the whole Kenneth Walker JCM thing is, man, it's just hard to trade for Kenneth Walker right now with the split we saw. And if JCM is the majority back on a high-level offense, I think that just beats out a middle-of-the-pack offense with Kenneth Walker. So in all honesty, I wouldn't trade for Kenneth Walker now.
For Jay Johnson or
Maybe
Fannin.
wait till he has another stinker. If
PPR.
you like his usage, go for him.
Zunga says drop Ninjoku for Jay Johnson or Fannin. PPR.
I would hold Njoku. If you have another spot on your bench for a tight end, honestly, I would look for stacking two of them maybe. Especially we know how injury prone Njoku has been. So if you do have Fannin as the backup there, that creates a really weird handcuff tight end scenario that I can get myself into. So I wouldn't drop him just yet. If you have another bench spot, try to look to fill him out with either Jawan or Fannin. I wouldn't mind either.
Dude, there you go. It looks like we're caught up, so let's get on the 49ers Seahawks.
Martin says
Bang,
Joku
bang.
might go off the next game low
There's
key.
more. Njoku might go off next game low key.
Yeah, I feel like, they're using both Fannin and Njoku a lot. I feel like Njoku should get more targets next game. 2 tight end sets.
There we go. We got a 49ers and Seahawks divisional clash. We talked about this before. 49ers are pretty banged up. Liked Ricky Pearsall late in that game. It was a really nice deep shot to him. The Seattle Seahawks can't protect anybody, kind of like the Giants. Sam Darnold was under duress, and it's going to be an ugly year for them. Honestly, I think the whole Geno Smith let go to get Sam Darnold was still a washed move, and Geno's going to make them pay. Yeah, and I think it's a worse Seahawks team in every facet but the offense. But the defense. My apologies. You look at an offensive line, added Gray Zabel. You think they're going to be better. They don't show any promise with the running game at all. I think in the running game, they're averaging about 3 yards a carry between Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. The offense, Jackson Smith and Jigba had about 80% of the total passing yards from Sam Darnold. Yeah, he's getting jiggy with it.
Yeah, it's just Niners take a close one. Both teams didn't look sharp as far as their offense goes. The Niners get more of a pass, however, facing a tougher defense and not having as many people out there. Juwan Jennings getting banged up mid-game, George Kittle getting banged up mid-game, and now you're relying on Brock Purdy, CMC, Ricky Pearsall versus the world.
Well, we have to get to another kind of game that offenses looked off. We're going to look at the Titans with Cam Ward. We're going to look at Bo Nix and the Broncos kind of looking off in the beginning of the game. Closer than it should have been, to be honest with you. The Broncos should have stomped them out, really held them down. But Cam Ward made some plays.
Should I do Egbuka for Laporta?
Yeah. He played really sharp, in my opinion. A lot of drops. Brian Callahan chooses not to challenge that call where Alec Aomanor has his feet in bounds. Said he didn't know the rules of it or something to that effect. Again, really just confusing coaching job by Callahan. I wouldn't be shocked if he's fired by the end of the year with his incompetence.
You don't like Callahan, so it is what it is. We'll go on that one. Should I do Mbuka for Laporta?
No,
I think Emeka, his stock's rising, and honestly, I think he overshadows Mike Evans at some point during the season as far as being their number one guy. And Emeka is that man. He showed it week 1. I don't think you drop him for Laporta, but I'm not a fantasy guy either. I just think the Lions' offense is going to be terrible this season. I still think 7-10 to be real.
Yeah,
but
in all honesty, just too many heads to feed on that Lions offense. And I agree with Alex. Like, you're seeing Egbuka not just play the slot, but he's also playing outside as well and having respectable inside splits. In addition to that, I feel like Egbuka you keep, and if you really want to sell high on him, wait 2 more weeks and then sell him before Godwin gets back. And you see how he fares, but I don't think Godwin's going to be effective this year. Emeka Egbuka should for sure be a top 24 wide receiver rest of the season.
Shoot. Y'all stay tuned right here. We got week 2 picks coming up after these last 4 games, so we'll go through them. And any more fantasy questions, Aiden's the fantasy guy. I'll route them to him.
Let's drop it.
We got Lions Packers. Lions looked awful in my opinion. 27-13. Let me get that right. The Packers were kind of iffy too, but again, divisional games. I'm gonna be high on the Packers this year, but I still think I'm actually not gonna get to that because we have that week 2 pick, and I'll explain my reasoning there. So Peyton, you want to go on the Lions Packers? Brandon, you want to explain anything about it if you have any opinions on it or not? I know you couldn't really get to some of them, so.
Well, the only thing I'm gonna say is Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons. Room of difference. Micah Parsons. You just gave me the content I needed, Brandon. Perfect.
Get to it.
He made it easier for the whole entire defense. I mean, the Packers already had a top 5 rush defense, Jeff Hafley leading crew, and you add Micah Parsons, that room is now disgusting. And to add again, it was 27-6 majority of the game. Lions get a garbage time touchdown. Lions can't run the ball all of a sudden because Frank Ragnow and Kevin Zeitler are gone. Like, who could have thought Jared Goff was overrated? Oh, all of us. Like,
the Commanders exposed him in the playoff game. Jared Goff is nothing with a little bit of pressure in his face.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I thought the Packers looked marvelous, especially on defense. Offense, again, some things they'll work out throughout the season. I'm not worried about that. Lions came to play a little bit on defense for the majority of the second half, more so, but I don't know. I think this is all about the Packers and they're slacking.
Go Pack, go! The Cheeseheads. I'm glad I'm not in that division. I mean, but the NFC East is also another division that's kind of tight knit. I mean, you don't really expect the Giants or the Cowboys to really be viable, but I digress. We'll go ahead into that one. Let's get into this other stinker, a defensive fest, in my opinion. 14-9 win for the Rams over the Texans. Dude, the Texans. I told you they're gonna be trash, dude. And nobody's listening to me. Everybody's all like, "Oh, well, they're gonna win the division." This and the third. Hey, man, this was a bad week 1 showing by them. If they're supposed to be this great division winner, but I mean, their division isn't the greatest, to say the least. You want to talk about that line, or should I talk about that line? Laramie Tunsil, they're feeling that trade right now. They're feeling it. You feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
All his feelers. And I mean, I thought the Rams really offensively could not get anything going as well outside of Puka Nacua, who, man, I can't say enough about Puka. He got a concussion. In my estimation, what was a concussion? He just didn't go out. He got cracked by 2 different defenders. He gets his eye busted open. He's bleeding. He comes back to the game and just continues to ball out. Matthew Stafford loves him. He won the game for the Rams. This Rams team is gonna be really good.
Says traded
if
Etienne
Matthew
and
Stafford
Tyreek for
is
Justin
healthy
Jefferson
come playoff
thoughts?
time. And
Traded Etienne and Tyreek for Justin Jefferson. What are your thoughts?
Oh, bang. What a trade.
Follow. What a trade. Love that.
Jaden says, what's a good trade I can make for Tyreek Hill and K9?
Not going to be the same player this
year.
year. He's frustrated. If he can't get going against the Colts defense, I don't think he's going to get going against any other defense.
What's a good trade that I can make for Tyreek Hill and K9 if they perform the same in week 2? Says Jaden.
In all honesty, if they play the same as they did week 1, I'd be less interested to trade for them. Normally it's a buy low scenario where you're like, oh, a couple studs, performing low and doing bad. I think this might be a season-long thing for both of them. I would just give it a little bit more time if you can.
There you go. Be patient.
Yep.
Be patient, it'll pay off. Let's get this Ravens Bills, dude. Honestly, the Bills.
Jace Fry says DK and Waddle for McBride
winning
and
the whole thing this year.
My TRN is Engram. I might get Fannin or Johnson off waivers.
DK and Waddle. Yeah, DK and Waddle for McBride and Pickens. My tight end right now is Ingram. I might get Fannin or Johnson off of waivers.
Instantly, yes.
Hill will be gone by the deadline, says J Flicks. I wouldn't trade for JJ after one game.
Justin I would, because that was seemingly his floor. He only had 4 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown. I feel like they're going to try to get
Martin
Justin Jefferson the ball more
after
as
one game.
JJ gets more comfortable, that being JJ McCarthy in the offense.
Trade Drake London for Nico and Trevion.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. I mean, you don't know how Drake London's going to fare after this injury, and then Nico Collins is that sure number one for CJ Stroud, and then
Noe says
him.
trade London for Nico and Trevian.
I think that's too low of a sell on Nico, and I love Drake London. Like, he's right up there with prior to the season rankings.
Hey, last year in the parlays for me, he was always on my slip for anytime touchdown. Same thing with Bijan. And then let's go get Tyler Lockett again, too.
Goodness.
Sutton for Higgins.
Right. Sutton for Higgins. I would do it.
I got offered K9 for
Jake
Hubbard.
says got offered K9
I have
for
Bijan
Hubbard.
and Kyron. Accepted or no?
Accepted or no?
No.
No, don't accept.
No.
Drop Diggs for
Hubbard.
Belt.
Booty.
Says
okay, I don't
drop
want to say it like
Diggs for
that.
Booty.
Diggs is still getting worked back into the offense. He's going to be their main slot guy and not their main outside guy. If you can get both of them for now, I think Booty is a fine streaming option for the next couple weeks. But after they start incorporating Diggs in more, I wouldn't be shocked.
Conk says trade Egbuka and J-Mo for AJ Brown.
Howdy, y'all. Thanks for the follow. And then Conk said trade Mbuka and J-Mo for AJ Brown. I don't think so.
No,
not at all.
I'm not a big AJ Brown fan. In all honesty, he's a big boomer bust guy.
Jake
I think if you're
Hubbard
trading
Wilson
and pairing him with another guy, you can get someone a little bit more safe.
Hubbard or Garrett Wilson at flex.
Ooh, that's an actual tough one. You're looking at Garrett Wilson. They both have really good matchups.
BTA says rate this
I think Garrett Wilson's actually
flex.
a little bit of a safer option. Call me crazy against
Connor,
the Buffalo Bills defense.
Nico, Neighbors, Pickens, Pearsall, Henderson, Engram, Lutz, Niners.
Aiden, you're gonna have to look at the chat now.
Lamar for CD if I have Herbert on the bench.
You're good. TikTok?
Rating this 12-man 3 flex. So far it's CMC, Connor, Nico, Neighbors, Pickens, Pearsall. Yeah, that's kind of hard to keep up with.
Nico, Neighbors. Oh, that's a really good 12-man. I would say it's like an 8.5, 9.
Oh yeah, appreciate the likes and the live, guys. Lamar for CD if I have Herbert on the bench.
Wow. It depends how your wide receivers are, Yadiel, in all honesty. If your wide receivers are good, then I would definitely look into making that. But it kind of just depends.
I got an incoming trade though. Says Zaya, so we'll wait for that incoming trade to see.
Zaya applied BTA says I got an oncoming trade.
I mean, it is kind of crazy how you have CMC, Nico, and Neighbors in a 12-man.
Knicks or Fields? I'm gonna say Knicks, honestly.
Fields this week, in my opinion,
week,
but Knicks for overall. I think Knicks has a safer floor
Knicks or Fields?
For the rest of the season. Juwan Johnson rest of the season. Egbuka, Jamar, and Tyreek. Oh, because you're looking at
DL says I have Egbuka, Jamar, and Tyreek.
I don't know if you compare Tyreek and Herbert for like a Lamb. I don't know if you could do that instead.
Dude, I'm getting lost in the sauce.
All good. I'm trying to read through these. Connor, Henderson, Pickens, Bergenti, Ridley, Kelsey, because Ingram injured now.
Dylan, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. If I
actually like that. I actually like that one.
Jaden says ID
like Henderson,
Tyreek to get
ETN,
traded to the
Hampton,
Chiefs.
And Walker.
His value could go up.
Man, I would hold on to Hampton and Walker for now. I think you can get a little bit more.
Zaya applied BTA says Connor, Henderson,
Waddle or Tyreek versus the Pats. I think you have
Kelsey,
to go Tyreek,
Engram, injured
especially with Christian Gonzalez out on the boundary. Mayor Daniels this week. I would go Daniels, even
Jorge
though it's a tough defense. I still take his rushing upside. Tyreek is scaring me, but I want to see if he gets traded. True, I do like holding value to see about that, but it's never for certain.
So, thanks for the follow.
User says who wins this trade?
Daniels or Herbert this week. I would go Daniels just because that rushing upside, even though I like Herbert's matchup this week a lot versus the Raiders.
Let's go WP, bro. WP
says Tyreek is scaring me, but I want to wait to see if he gets
Herbert
traded.
or Murray this week. Ooh, Murray plays the Panthers. That's a stud matchup. I would lean Murray. However, both choices are really good ones to have. I think you're in for a good week.
Go Murray just for the fun of it. Go Murray just for the fun of it.
Okay.
Who wins this
trade? Pre-draft? Yep. Tyreek, Keon for Marion Ridley.
Y'all got my follow, y'all. So quick, W it.
I would lean Hampton Ridley, in all honesty, just because I like Ridley over Coleman rest of the season, and I like Hampton over Tyreek rest of the season.
Jake says
should I start
Herbert or Murray
Etienne
this
or
week?
Achane? Jaguars play. Who did Jaguars play this week?
I'm losing it.
I would lean
it.
Achane. I would lean
User says
Achane
who
though,
wins this
and
trade?
I would lean
Redraft Tyreek and Kean Coleman for Omarion.
I would lean
Hampton and
Hampton this
Ridley.
week. I think Hampton's going to get in the end zone. Jags play Bengals. Oh, whew. I would
Yeah,
still
Dio
go
says, should I
Achane. I
start
would lean
Etienne or
Achane.
Kane?
Etienne is great to have though.
The Jags play Bengals. I'm pretty sure you've seen that already. I'm kind of trying to catch up here. Appreciate you guys all pointing here. 7 follows in the night, 10
Dylan
follows.
Hayes
10
says Hampton
viewers
or
right
Henderson.
now. 1.3k
John.
likes. Let's
Appreciate you.
go. All right.
That's
You all caught up? We all caught up now?
Yeah, I'm all caught up for now. If you get anything, let me know because I'm on my other
DL
screen.
says Jags play Bengals.
Yeah, basically Bills Ravens. Yeah, a huge comeback by the Bills last second. Josh Allen has 250 yards plus in the fourth quarter.
Cameron GTS
keyword for the
says
Ravens:
Embuchar
trust your
Myers,
star
who the fuck
QB
would y'all
Lamar,
start?
and you win the game there. I don't think they punt it back. I think they go for it. They pick it up. They win that game. You give the ball back to Josh Allen, you lose.
Yeah, really. Mbuka or Myers? Who the F would y'all start?
Mbuka this week.
Yeah.
Full Collins
Jacoby
says
Myers
what's
going
on
up
in the
against
Seahawks
Tarheeb still
backfield?
on the outside. You don't expect a full shadow, maybe a little bit, but I like Mbuka here against a banged up Houston secondary. We saw Derek Stingley actually get a hip injury against the Rams. Don't know the status on that too much, so I think he should be in for a good weekend with Evans being shadowed by Stingley as well.
Let's go. Appreciate the
Let's go
follow,
Seahawks
Cameron.
Seahawks backfield is a little bit weird, looking like they're splitting up carries. However, Kenneth Walker has been limited recently with some injury stuff. He's trying to work his way back in. Don't know how that's going to fizzle
says
out.
Pearsall, Ridley, Tyreek,
Not hitting the
or Coleman.
red flag too hard yet. But if we see the same usage over the next 2 weeks, panic.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Zaya applied BTA says I have the option of
You already
Ridley
talked
or
about Pearsall?
Oduns, and should I add Engram in the
Pearsall,
trade?
Ridley, Tyreek, or Keon Coleman?
I would still take Pearsall, Ridley, Tyreek.
Yeah, honestly, over one
as
guy.
far as over start this week. I mean, Pearsall is like the only pass catcher that's healthy on that Niners team. So
Many men wish death upon him, right? All right.
goodness.
I have the option of Ridley or Adunze. And should I add Engram in the trade or both? Or for both?
I would look for Ridley instead. And yeah, I don't think Ingram is going to have as large of a role as expected from the offseason. It looks like the Broncos really want to spread the ball out, and normally Sean Payton has a little more of a joker within his offense, and that is the tight end. However, this calf thing can linger too for Ingram. He's had a calf injury in the past. I feel like moving on would be for the better.
Right. Zaya says this is what the 12-man would look like after. Hold on.
If you can't get rid of Ingram, try to get rid of Ingram.
Says, should I try to get rid of Engram?
Should he try to get rid of Ingram?
Not much value. Yeah, but there's not too much value there. That's the only crappy thing with dealing a player that played bad and got injured. It's just rough value, man.
There you go.
You want to hit Vikings Bears real quick?
Yeah, we got the Monday night, and then while we wait for this break, all right, we got the Monday night 27-24 win for the Vikings. I was shocked. Everyone was shocked. The Bears kind of let off the gas a little bit at the end there.
Yadiel says, what do you think, Jawan Johnson?
What do you think about Jawan Johnson? Yadiel says.
I would take Jawan Johnson over him right now. If you have an IR slot, maybe try to throw Ingram in there. I think he's for sure out this week. So if you could do that. If you want to give him up on waivers, you can also do that as well if you don't have the roster space, considering, your guys' rosters are pretty solid in this chat. So if you want to drop him, you can drop him. And Juwan Johnson is a fine safety net for Spencer Rattler.
Let's get back to that game real quick. Good on the fantasy part. Amazing response. Peyton, you were like a freaking shot out of a cannon right there, but we're going to talk about it. Vikings.
BTA says 12-man 3
Okay,
flex.
here's the 3 flex. You want to see it?
CMC.
You cut me off.
Yeah, I got you. Keep talking.
Pearsall,
All right.
Ridley, Oduns, Kelsey, Lutz, Niners.
Just waiting for it to stop talking in my ear. Okay, there we go. JJ McCarthy started off really weak, throwing that pick six.
Zaya applied
Really couldn't keep
BTA
drives
says this
going.
the trade after my
But
bad.
we really, they really stepped it up in the second half. Second half adjustments were key. The Bears kind of took a nap, and you let them come back, and just the Vikings wanted it more. The Bears were overhyped. They're overhyping themselves. Kind of overlooked the Vikings due to their instability and their question mark at JJ McCarthy. But it proved infruitful, and everybody saw it on the big stage on Monday night. So,
yeah, and just before I hit off Alex's point real quickly, I'd go 9.5 for your team now, Zay. Again, 3 flex league. That is kind of crazy. Really like your team, man. And then kind of piggybacking off what you said, Alex. Again, this 17-6 game going into the fourth quarter, and then the Vikings seemingly turn it on, 3 straight touchdown drives, hitting Aaron Jones in stride for 1, Justin Jefferson, and then you see JJ McCarthy pick up the last. And hey, kid has some mental toughness. For as much as I crap on JJ, he's really stuck in there. Caleb got inaccurate late. Yeah, and he looked calmed down throughout the game.
I am staying
so
for a while.
big ups
Y'all
for Vikings
entertaining.
fans there. You like to see the young kid go out, keep his composure, and get you guys a W over a hostile Bears crowd. And after throwing a pick 6 in your first start, man, that's rough.
Yeah, I mean, he really bounced back. Zaya, appreciate you, man. We try to be entertaining. It's hopefully just now starting. I hope streams become more like this. We like you guys with the engagement. Appreciate y'all. Y'all the best part of what we do. So let's keep at it. JJ showed grit after that pick 6. Yeah, man, he sure did. Love to see what he came back. I thought it was going to be, lights out for him. I really thought that, the game was over. I actually turned the game off to go play some Fortnite and do another stream that I had to do. So, and then I was just looking on freaking CBS and just saw them coming back, and I was like, okay, I got to get them on this and see what's going on.
JJ showed grit after that pick 6.
Yeah. How do I feel about JCM? JCM's a really good stash. I feel like eventually if he can get pure starter work and maybe a couple more catches, then he's going to really explode. I would definitely hold there. Should I panic on Terry McLaurin? I wouldn't say so.
I don't think so this week. I feel like he can take advantage of the Green Bay Packers secondary because I think Carrington is starting this week. I think Dobbs will be out. So don't sleep on Terry McLaurin. I feel like they get back into it. Commanders fan here. Keep him on.
Yep. Overthrows, misreads by Caleb. He is running for his life. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
He had to escape to his left on that touchdown run, but he didn't look as skittish in the pocket. I like that. He did open the game with some easy completions, going 10 for 10, but yeah, that second half was really rough.
LMAO.
Yeah, honestly, with all the upgrades that they had in the offseason, it was just one of those things where the Vikings defensive line was massively upgraded. They got Javon Hargrave, Jonathan Allen. They were really getting in there. Jonathan Allen was more or less a penetrator. Javon Hargrave, penetrator, run stuffer. Love that combo that the Vikings have right now. The Vikings have a decent defense. They're no slouch. The Bears offensive line just couldn't keep up. I think it was a lot of overhype, overlooking, and hopefully the culture changes that.
Y'all cover the Niners game. MBI might be joined
fixes
late.
the penalties too, man. The penalties killed the Bears in both halves, especially the false starts. I believe they had 6 of them, equating to about 30 yards in penalties. So that alone kills drives. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we did cover the Niners game. It was a struggle fest. Seattle was, I'll go back over it just real quick. Seattle's offense looked shell-shocked. Sam Darnold was under duress. The 49ers were really getting at it, and I really liked Ricky Pearsall going deep at the end of the game there. Catch that touchdown, so it is what it is. I feel like the 49ers have really nothing to worry about. Hopefully they can just come back from injuries, and I feel like they'll be solid. It's really a toss-up on that division, but I think we predicted Rams in the beginning of the year.
Says Rams are sneaky good.
Yeah, Rams and the Niners with that solid defense back there.
Puka is just different, bro.
Puka is different, and I think we said in the beginning of the year that the Rams will take the division.
BTA
no problem.
Says Brock Purdy's 2 reads
I really love Puka, man. You guys got yourself a beast if you're a Rams fan. Him and Adams corralling target after target, and that man Puka just fights through contact like no one's business. I think he's the best wide receiver with the ball in his hands.
Brock Purdy's two reads with his picks had me on edge.
Yeah.
I think Purdy's system quarterback, in my opinion. That's a Shanahan product right there.
Yeah, and a tough Mike McDonald system as well, and really throwing different looks at him. And that last play to Tonjes, where it was deflected off Tariq Woolen in the end zone, had me a little
says
spooked
trade
as well
Pittman
for the Niners.
Travis Hunter.
Pittman for Travis Hunter trade. What do you think?
Yeah, I would. I definitely would.
Travis Hunter is going to be a freaking fantasy gem playing both sides of the ball, man. You see why you wouldn't?
Well,
says,
so his points
Michael
don't
Pittman
really
Jr.
count for
or
defense
Tyreek?
because it only counts if you really get interceptions. But Pittman, you're selling high on him. Travis Hunter, you're looking for more of a consistent slot role. And I feel like he will get
Rivera
there.
says start Krosky, Merritt, or Walker
Starting
III.
Bill, Krosky, Merritt, or Walker. I'll give you a tidbit about Krosky, Merritt. Tyler Biotish is a hell of a center, and I'm just going to say it right now. I mean, Nick Allegretti and Brandon Coleman are doing well at guard.
BTA says punch in the air.
Krosky and Merritt, if we can run in between the tackles, I feel like Krosky and Merritt's going to eat up. Green Bay's rushing defense isn't, the greatest. I think they're more pass. Their pass defense is better in my opinion. But then again, you run in between the tackles, you're avoiding Rashawn Gary, you're avoiding Micah Parsons, unless Micah lines up over the nose. But what do you think about that Kenneth Walker?
Zaya applied BTA says, and I sat Herb against the Chiefs.
I'd lean Kenneth Walker this week over
Ja'Cory
Krosky Merritt. We saw how the Lions run game looked last week against the Packers front, and I feel like Walker against the Steelers, you expect a better run defense with the Steelers, but they performed really badly week one against Breece Hall, against Braylon Allen. I kind of lean Walker there. Michael Pittman Jr. or Tyreek. I would slightly lean Tyreek. That's a rough situation though. And sat Herb against Chiefs because Drake May against, I mean, honestly, I would have started Drake May over Herb as well, so I don't blame you there, but we know for weeks going forward. Ashton Genty or Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry's a safer floor, however, Ashton Genty has the higher upside and a little more catching volume there, potentially. Of course, right now, I would start Henry. However, over the course of the season, I'd rather have Genty start Hampton or Ibuka/AJ Brown. I think Hampton's going to have a really nice week. I would lean him over Ibuka and AJ Brown.
ATX says Tyreek or Oduns this week.
And honestly,
receivers are Metcalf and Coleman.
Other receivers are Metcalf and Coleman.
Man.
And Zaya said I couldn't believe it.
Zaya applied BTA says I couldn't believe it.
Gosh, that's a rough one. I guess lean Tyreek, man. That's a really tough one.
Depends if his off the field distractions really distract him on game with his domestic violence.
Eddie TX says 3-man receiver.
Yeah, I don't know. I would lean 3-man receiver. Oh, it's tough. I'd go Tyreek. I'd go Tyreek barely. And again, you're just hoping he does somewhat better against Patriots young defense without Christian Gonzalez.
Zaya applied BTA says y'all see that hospital ball WDJ Moore.
You'll see the hospital ball DJ Moore was insane.
Yeah, with the chest contusion. Brandon and I were talking about that a little prior to stream.
Zaya applied BTA says TS was insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you. I know he would have been heated. That's crazy.
Yeah, and him overthrowing Colson Loveland and DJ Moore twice again earlier in the game
BTA
doesn't really
says
help.
He was heated.
Alex, you want to jump into these picks, and we'll kind of go rapid fire through these picks while keeping up with the fantasy.
All right, well, Eddie TX, thanks for the follow. Let's just go over our week one records real quick. First, Peyton was 12-4 in his picks. I was 9-7, and Brandon was 10-6. Took an L this week for me, but we'll go ahead into it. Basically, we got Commanders at Packers Thursday Night Football. I picked Commanders 21-20 in some type of crazy. I feel like Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt does get going on the interior, and I feel like Terry McLaurin gets a touchdown or two.
Do I start Hollywood or Debo?
Just like I like Daniels over Jordan Love. I mean, Jordan Love can be inconsistent at times, but when Jordan Love is going, Jordan Love is going. I feel like it's whoever has the ball last type thing is going to win the game. Peyton, what'd you say about that? He said, do I start Hollywood or Debo?
Zaya applied BTA
Hollywood.
says, I'm a go ahead. I've got to see the girl lol. I'm a tap back in later if y'all still live.
Okay, Commanders 21-20. I like that. Brandon, what are you thinking about this game?
Zaya, we're live every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here.
Says y'all have a blessed stream.
I say Packers 28-21.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
Packers 20, huh?
8-21.
28-21.
Zaya applied BTA says bet.
I like the Packers 24-18, really for the reason that I think this Packers front is really going to get after the Commanders front. as far as defense and offense goes. I feel like the Packers are going to run the ball, which is what they do best well in this game, as the Commanders don't have the best run defense, even though they put on a great performance against the Giants week 1. I'll lean the Giants, Packers. Yeah, I'll lean Packers 24-18.
Should I start Debo or ETN? And Caesar, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate you.
I would lean ETN. He has a really good matchup this week, even though the Browns didn't do good on the ground versus the Bengals. They have a really bad offensive line. I feel like they get creative, and ETN scores this week against the Bengals.
All right, let's go to our next game. We got Rams. We got Rams 5.5-point favorites at the Titans. I picked Rams 24-14. Just don't think Cam Ward has the same success he had last week. Just feel like the Rams defense really takes advantage this week. Forced a couple turnovers and covering their number 2 of a number 1 wide receiver in Calvin Ridley.
Heck yeah. I know you picked the Titans last week, Brandon. Have your thoughts changed about this week versus the Rams?
Actually, Rams 24-13.
24-13 Rams. Let's go.
Heck yeah. And I kind of piggyback off the Titans score. I guess we got 13, 13, and 14 respectively. I got 20-3 Rams. I really feel like the Titans defense is performing well. However, Puka Nacua is going to have his stamp all over this game, in my opinion. You didn't really see a strong shadow by L'Jarius Sneed on Cortland Sutton week 1, and I feel like the Rams cover the spread 20-13.
Oh yeah. All right. We got Bengals and Jaguars at Bengals. Bengals are 3.5-point favorites on this one as of making this stream. I got Jaguars 24-21 over the Bengals. I feel like Cincinnati's defense takes an L here again, and I feel like Joe Burrow just doesn't keep up this time.
Okay. Brandon, what are you thinking?
20-17.
Bengals 24-17.
Ryder says Doc or May.
Dak or May? That's kind of hard. Dak's been playing. Well, Dak played well week 1, and they played New York, don't they?
But if we're talking for fantasy, you didn't do that well. Dak plays the Giants. May play. I would go May. I would lean May. I don't really mind either way you go, though.
Yeah, disclaimer, don't shoot the messenger. Your picks don't pan out.
Ryder says appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
All right.
And last to go on this Bengals one real quickly. I got Bengals 31-27. I feel like the Jaguars are going to have at least 1 or 2 awkward offensive drives that stall out. I think the Bengals really bring it to this Jaguars defense, my apologies, and scrape out a close one in a high-scoring affair.
Let's go. All right, we got Browns, Ravens. Ravens 10.5-point favorites, which is crazy. But I picked the Ravens 14-10 in a defensive slugfest. The Browns usually play good against the Ravens as far as rush defense is concerned. And I think last year, Derrick Henry was pretty bottled up, and Lamar Jackson as well. So I feel like it's a really close, low-scoring affair.
Heck yeah. What do you think, Brandon?
I said Ravens 38-20.
38-20. Dan, I think it's the biggest margin between all of us, right? Game they're close.
Yeah, I think that's almost the biggest margin out of any game. In all honesty with you, Brandon, I'm into this shellacking. I think the Ravens are going to come out pissed. You lose 41-40 when you have that game in your midst and everything's going perfectly offensively. I think that's just going to piss them off even more. They win 34-13 in a steamroll.
Oh yeah. Love differencing opinions here. We can come back next week when I go 9-8 again. So
a little 9-7,
9-7, yeah.
Action.
All right, so we got Bills 6.5-point favorites at the Jets this week. I picked Jets 34-31. They just come out and set the world on fire with their offense. Defensively, they still can't really hold, so they allow 30+ points. But at the same time, it's going to be one of those interdivision games that are kind of like too close to call. But
Austin
sources would say
Poppy Pay.
Poppy Pay. Any tips? Any tips on not moving so I can finish? Appreciate it.
Musty Kid says any tips on not moving so I can finish?
What up, Austin? First and
Appreciated.
foremost. Hope you're doing well. Any tips on not moving so I could finish? I
That sounds
would
bad.
ask your doctor.
Micah S says Quentin Johnston or Devontae
That's
Adams.
not. I give football advice, man, and you're ripping off the wrong pigskin. That's all I'll say.
Oh man, ripping off the pigskin's weird. All right.
Ripping off the pigskin, man. Brandon, what do you feel about ripping off the pigskin and picking between Bills, Jets?
Got the schedule up here for you guys.
Bills 28-21.
Okay. I like your picks, man. I like your picks. I'm gonna second that real quickly with Bills 27-24. Jets keep it really close. Coming off a loss at home, you're pretty ticked
Ian
off.
says,
You want to win
like
against a divisional opponent. I just feel like their push isn't going to be enough. The Bills are going to expect more out of the Jets this time, play up to their competition, and get a narrow win.
Ian says, do we like the Niners? We're going to get to that week. We're going to get to that week 2 pick.
Says Texans go 9-7, 2025.
Very injured. Very injured.
Texans go 9-7 in 2025. I think you said the same thing, Aiden, if I'm not mistaken. Or
8-9.
Close, 8-9, or I think I said 9-7, 10-7, something like that, or 9-8. My bad, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get to the 49ers. That's actually one game away from this next one. So we got Patriots at Dolphins, 1.5-point favorites for the Dolphins, which is crazy. I picked Patriots 21-6. They shellacked the Dolphins. Even though it's an interdivisional game, it's hard to. I hate to pick blowouts in that scenario because divisional games are always tougher than regular. You know your enemy, the enemy of my enemy is my friend type thing. It's really close knit, and I just feel like Mike McDaniel loses his locker room here for sure, and the Patriots come and have their way with them.
Heck yeah. Also, Quentin Johnston or Devontae Adams. I'd lead in Devontae Adams still. Quentin Johnston had a great week. I just feel like it's a high boomer bust total. There, Brandon, what do you feel like with this Dolphins-Patriots game?
Patriots 27-14.
That's respectable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big collapse by you both. I'm gonna go a little closer of a game.
Says
just
Niners depleted with injuries.
I think the implosion happens after this one. I think it's Patriots 20, Dolphins 17.
So you're gonna see what we picked right here. Yeah, keep going. Sorry about that.
RG Wyatt says
just Dolphins home opener coming off an ugly loss. I feel like they're going to be highly motivated to get a win here. Patriots coming off a loss as well, want their first one. I feel like the motivations align. Who's more skilled though? I think the Patriots have that. Again, I think better offensive line. I think better defense. I think more sound quarterback play. And I think better coaching as well. So give me the Patriots.
There you go. Austin said Niners depleted with injuries, but still get the dub. The defense looked promising finally.
Says he from the Eagles.
Why the Texans give away their safety who intercepted the ball in the Lions versus the preseason? Because the Lions are due. Well, not the Lions. The Texans are dumb. I mean, they gave away Larry Matanzo, and now they got a porous offensive line. Not saying it was much better with him in there, but it definitely makes a difference when the replacement they were looking to trade him in Cam Robinson. So, you say he's from the Eagles. Which safety was that?
He's talking about Jalen Mills, and the reason he got cut is because they already have a pretty solid safety core. Jalen Petrie kind of leading it there. And in all honesty, besides that interception, he didn't do much in the preseason, in my opinion, to earn a spot. But it's just camp hearsay, and a lot of players will get interceptions in preseason and not come into fruition in the regular.
Yeah, it's all about putting tape.
Start Montgomery or JCM.
JCM or Montgomery starting. Sorry, Brendan. Okay, Brendan. Why you answers?
Mills agent or is he picked up?
Say it again.
Joel
your audio
Ted or Debo at flex.
Jalen Mills is a free agent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I would lean Montgomery over JCM. Ted or Debo at flex. I would lean Ted in this one.
Says
I think
Shakir, AJ Brown,
Ted does
Mason,
good. I receive Shakir, AJ Brown, Mason, and Javonte. I give up Reese and Ladd. Ooh, yeah. I never like giving up the best players in deals. Reese and Ladd is a really good combo. I'd keep them around.
Against the Rams, Texans get a win.
If Jalen Mills was playing against the Rams, Texans get a win. I think if the Texans can block for the life of them,
says I received
on a couple plays, they win that game. I think the problem's more with the offense and not the defense. No? JCM or Booty at flex. I would lean Booty this week.
Booty.
Josiah says JCM
Booty, dude. He's a dog. Niners Saints. Alex, what do you think?
Hang on, you got another one. Is Hunter Henry a good replacement for Kittle right now?
Hunter Henry's a fine replacement for Kittle. Of course, if you can get
RN.
Jawan Johnson or Harold Fannin, I would target both of them over Henry. Brenton Strange as well, I would target over Henry, surprisingly enough.
That's a strange take.
Austin says Johnson 100%.
Johnson 100% from Austin, and because Jalen Mills would intercept Streifert. What about Kraft? He got 11 targets.
Says, should I do it, bro? I am.
I mean,
stuck.
I guess you, but you can't equate a preseason game with a regular season game. Yeah, it's hindsight's 2020. And again, the problem was
Wyatt says because Jalen Mills will intercept Strayford.
Yeah. What about Kraft? Kraft is a really good one too. Even though he was only targeted on about 7% of his first read looks.
Says, what about Kraft?
You're looking at a man who's a target hog. When he does get the opportunity, not a target hog. He's a super athletic freak, and he can do a lot after the catch.
All right, we got 49ers
got
at
11
Saints.
targets.
4.5-point favorites for the 49ers at Saints. I look for them to shellac them 24-14. 49ers beat Saints.
Miles says thank you.
Appreciate the follow, Miles. I can't talk. My bad. Appreciate the follow.
Okay. Brandon, how do you feel about this one?
49ers, huh? I couldn't really hear them.
You cut him off. He's score. What'd you say, Brandon? Sorry.
Zaya applied BTA says I am back for a quick question. My bad pickings are really long term.
So you guys think it's a little more spread out. I wouldn't be shocked if this is an upset game, in my opinion. 4.5-point favorites for the Niners. However, you don't know if Mac Jones is starting at QB this week, and I'm gonna pick Niners 17, Saints 13, and just saying that Brock Purdy will start. However, if Mac Jones starts, I might flip sides. I don't know.
All right, Zaya came back.
Zaya applied BTA.
And he
says
said,
Pickens or Ridley long term. Let me know some.
Pickens or Ridley long term.
Man, I kind of like Ridley a little bit more. You get a wide receiver one. Yeah, you get a 1 on an offense rather than a 2. And also Ridley, even though he's majority
Pickle
outside, I feel like he's a little more flexible than Pickens.
All right, so
Start Diggs or Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, run through these. I'm getting butchered. Why they give away all those good players in preseason?
Says, yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
No, it's not crazy to sit Kamara for Hollywood this week at flex. In all honesty, why the Texans trade Tunsil? I don't know. I don't necessarily like their GM, and Nick Caserio, after drafting so well. You're wasting CJ Stroud on a rookie deal by not investing more in that offensive line and in that running back room. In all honesty, knowing that Joe Mixon has a lingering foot injury, I think it's franchise malpractice. Is Hollywood and Jawan good 2 waiver wire pickups if I got 2 bench spots open? Yes.
Leo, thanks for the follow.
Pitts season long, I'm not as high on. Again, Darnell Mooney's coming back soon enough. Drake London looks to be healthy right now. You still have Ray McLeod in the fold. Again, you saw Pitts' usage skyrocket on the last drive. He had 50% of his targets from the last drive the other night. But again, I don't know. I'm not hugest on Pickens. Benching Bo Nix for Geno based on matchup. In all honesty, seeing Bo Nix's performance last week, I don't mind it too much. Rate 12-man PPR Hurts, Puka, London, Saquon, Bucky. Geez, okay, just win your league already. That's a 10 out of 10 team. Yeah, Tajay Spears, Jalen Coker's my 2 IR spots too, Zay. So I actually strongly love that sentiment there. Should I keep replace with Jawan, Pitts, or Loveland, or keep both?
Saquon, Bucky,
did you rate Richie's?
Tyler Warren, Bates,
Man, I would go Jawan over.
Jawan over BTA says, and it's Tajay Spears and Jalen Coker.
I like
2
Jawan
good
over
IR
both
spots.
right now. Trent Green
That's
will
who I
help
got
protect
too.
CJ, I guess. Again, that offensive line is still rough.
Appreciate the follow, Patrick.
Trey says, who should I replace with Jawan, Pitts, or Loveland, or keep both?
I would lean Jawan over Pitts and Loveland, and Loveland's probably the worst there because of all the options they have there. Thought he would pan out a little better, but
Gene Wyatt
sorry
says
about
Trent
that.
Green
Giants
will
Cowboys,
help protect CJ.
Perhaps worse than a quad.
Okay, so you're caught up. You rated Richie's, right? Because I got lost. I got real lost.
No, you're good. You're good. I read them all. You can go ahead.
Zayaply
appreciate y'all with the
BTA says
engagement,
I
man.
wanted to snag Ayuk for IR spots cuz that's instead of Jalen Coker, but coming back from an ACL
Giants at
is...
Cowboys. 5 boys. I got Giants going 27-20 here. They're
Zayaply
pissed off
BTA
after the
says
week 1
worse than a
loss
quad.
and take advantage. And I feel like the Dallas's defense kind of holds with middle league neighbors here, and Russell Wilson gets things cooking.
Patrick
Okay.
says I knew to fantasy.
Brandon, what do you
my
feel
QB
like?
is Lamar Jackson,
Would
and my
he
running
have
back is Isaiah
24-10
Pacheco. Is
Cowboys?
that good?
Nice.
I personally think Lamar Jackson and Pacheco is good. RB1 for the Chiefs and Lamar Jackson. You can't go wrong with Lamar.
Pacheco sucks in fantasy.
Oh, he
Try to
does?
look for a different RB. Yeah.
All right, there you
Pacheco
go.
ran 5 times against
Arjun
the
Wyatt
Chargers
says the Texans
and did
had
nothing.
Jalen Mills and
Jesus
Gardner,
crazy.
but traded
Not
Jalen
fair.
Mills.
So yeah, get rid of Pacheco. Had Jalen Mills and Gardner, but traded Jalen Mills. Yeah.
Gardner's better.
Again, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be too strung up about Jalen Mills. Again, he was a practice squad
Patrick
candidate when
says
you guys
Oshie.
signed him, so I wouldn't take it too much into account.
Yeah,
But,
Yeah,
Sorry,
fantasy in real life league is crazy. Just because the fact that you're not starting RB1, you see him on
Wyatt
the
says
goal
that will
line
help team.
to get touchdowns, but at the same time, look, man, I don't know fantasy like that, so I'm gonna leave that all to you. I'm gonna try to help where I can, though. Maybe I might start learning, maybe get into a league next year or something, because I think it's too late now, right?
yeah, you can join them, but I would just do it next year. It's not as fun. And last pick for me, Cowboys 20, Giants 13. And I think the Cowboys are clearly the better team. I think Giants have, again, the worst O-line in football, and expect them to lose by a touchdown.
Oh man, Giants gotta win something. Guess it's not this week, at least for you guys.
Toilet bowl.
All right, Bears at the Lions, 5.5 point favorites for the Lions.
Arjun Wyatt
I
says
picked
why
Bears
don't they
30
get
to
Jalen
17.
Mills back?
Our shirts are drip for next game day, says Gamblers, and Wyatt says, why don't they get Jalen Mills
Gamblers
back?
Up Arrow says our shirts are
Texans
drip for
bouncing
next
back.
game
I
day.
think they will, just not to the level they were. Again, the Texans, if they get into the playoffs this time around, are first round
Seahawks
exit.
prediction is the next game we're going on, so just stick hang
Ryland
tight for
says
that
Texans bouncing back.
In all honesty, for fantasy purposes, I'd lead Brock Purdy if he's healthy this week. Jettas for London and
Seahawks prediction?
Ibuka. Oh, that might be good if your flex is weak. Ertz, Juwan Johnson, Fannin, Juwan Johnson, Colts over Denver. I've thought about it. I think a lot of people. We'll talk about that in a second. Start T-Law or
Justin
Herbert in
Bussin
fantasy.
Cheese
I'd lean
says, do I
Herbert this
start
week.
Bo Nix, Brock Purdy, or Penix? I had Bo first week and did horrible.
All right. Bears Lions. Also got AJ Brown and Mike Evans too.
Says Seahawks prediction.
Brayden, what did you say about Bears Lions, man? You're muted, or your things again. Your things acting up again.
Franco says Jettas for London and Egbuka question
Lions.
mark. I have Jettas.
Here, say score.
2021 Lions.
2021 Lions. You got some more fantasy in the chat.
Al's Vlog says
yeah.
Ertz, Juwan Johnson,
I
or
think
Fannin.
Lions are gonna not cover the spread. I think it's 28-24 Lions in a weird one. I don't like how both of these teams looked week 1. I think Lions
Big Ol'
capitalize
Caesar
on being
says start
home.
T-Law
I
or
think
Herbert in
the,
fantasy.
The Bears have more problems to iron out. Odunze or Charbonnet in the flex. I'd lean Odunze. Walker versus Travis Etienne. I'd start Etienne this week.
Appreciate the
Mahomes
follow,
or
Nico.
Rodgers
Patrick
this
says
week.
I also
I would
got a Jay
definitely.
Brown and Mike Evans
I would
too.
definitely go Mahomes.
Oh yeah, Mahomo. Oh wait, what? Mahomes.
Goodness.
Puka for McBride.
Arjun Wyatt says Jalen Mills is a good intercept football.
Puka for McBride. Depends on your receivers, in all honesty, but McBride is a huge positional advantage. Why don't Barkley go to the Texans?
Clash
Man,
with
why don't
Jack
everyone
says
go to the
Oduns or
Texans,
Charbonnet in
man?
the flex?
Should I drop Bateman for Quentin Johnston? If you can, yeah, I would lean Quentin Johnston. Better offense as far as like passing attempts go for him. So I feel
John
like that'd be
Velasquez
advantageous.
says Walker versus Travis Etienne.
Seahawks Steelers.
My receivers are CD and Marvin Harrison and Myers, but we do have Seahawks right now. I'm going Steelers 28-17, man. Over the Seahawks.
Tristan says, should I do
I'd
Puka
keep
for
Puka.
McBride?
Okay. Wait. You said 28-17 Steelers, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tristan
Brandon?
says my
What do you
receivers
think?
are CD and Marvin
14
Harrison
Steelers.
and Myers.
28-14. Jeez, you got him smacking. I expect this to be a really close game. Steelers coming off a win, Seahawks coming off a loss. I think Steelers barely eke this one out, just because I don't think this Seahawks offense is going to look
Landon
good.
Says, what
I
about
think the
Rams
Steelers
game?
offense looks a tad bit better. Yeah.
Brandon, we got chat. I mean, not Brandon, Peyton. We got chat.
Oh goodness, I got a lot. What's up with Bashal
Landon
Tune?
says, what about
Is he a
Rams
potential
game?
league winner? RB2 on Jags. Again, he has league winning upside if he becomes the one, but I don't expect much of him as just the normal number 2. What about Rams game?
Nico Ishak says, can you please help me?
Well, we already predicted the Rams to beat up on the Texans. Can you help me, please? I could try Jacoby over DK. I would roll with that this week.
Tom Bond, thanks for the follow.
Jacob Stahl says Colts.
So is it worth giving? No, I would keep Puka, in all honesty. Puka and CD is disgusting. Puka scores more than McBride, and of course he gets that
Tristan
positional
says,
advantage.
So if my
but
other receivers are CD, Marvin Harrison, and Myers, is it worth giving Puka for McBride?
Oh yeah, Duval, the community, Jacksonville.
I would lean Zay, Gabe, but I don't mind Zay or Terry there. Is it fine if I have JT and Tyler Warren? Yes. However, when you're running into the conundrum of a running back and a tight end in fantasy, you run into the problem of capping each other's upside by doing that. Because say your running back goes off, they're less likely to pass, therefore the numbers aren't going to align as much. Will DJ Moore be good this year? Yeah, I think he's already good. It's about more of Caleb being accurate. Start Zay or Ja'Cory. I would go with Zay.
You do not like Ja'Cory, bro.
Well, not this week. I don't expect him to go 11 for 82 and a touchdown again against a world's better run defense. Like, that's just malpractice, if I'm saying that.
We can take advantage of their interior defensive tackle, just not the outside. Just not the outside.
That's rough, though, when they got the contain they did, and their linebackers are top 3 in the league. So, you think Texans make 2020? No, I think Texans blow it up eventually. Why not this week? Eckler hurt? No. I think Eckler plays. If Eckler doesn't play, then yeah, start JCM. Just being Bengals at the house, you heard it here first. I don't mind that. Start Keon or Keenan. I would lean Keenan. Rodgers, Herbert, or Murray. I'd lean Murray. Wouldn't be mad at Murray or Herbert. Seattle will win. I wouldn't be shocked. Fantasy J.K. Dobbins for Jonathan Taylor. Yes, please. Who we got Thursday? Majority of Packers. One of us has the Commanders. JCM got more carries. I understand JCM got more carries. I just see more value out of the PPR upside that you get with catches that Eckler takes away from JCM. And again, super tough matchup. I don't think he gets in the end zone this week. Keep JT or Warren. I would lean keeping. It kind of depends who your running backs are. Tight end's a harder position to come across, so Warren might have a little more value. It kind of just depends. 32-10 Packers win. Jeez. High scoring game. Yeah, I think it's semi-high scoring. I think it's middle of the line scoring. Should I be patient in Evans? Yeah, 100%. They want to get him involved more. They were very vocal about getting him involved more after the game. Pitts, Johnson, or Ertz, I would lean Johnson for right now. Garrett Wilson or ETN PPR, I would lean Wilson for sure this week, even though Bengals are a great matchup. ETN's really good long term.
Jackson, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate you. You're gonna have these rapid fire. Are we good to go?
Gama says 32 to 10 Packers
win. Keep going. Keep trying to talk through them. Broncos, Colts.
Broncos, Colts. I go 24-20 Broncos. Just think, the Broncos get right here. Love them. Don't really like the Colts that much outside of Jonathan Taylor. Daniel Jones is trash. I'm gonna keep saying that until the wheels fall off. Buffalo Bills versus Eagles, Super Bowl 2025. Can definitely see it. Definitely like to see Packers there over the Eagles.
I don't think the Eagles are gonna have enough juice, but again, who knows there? And Brandon, how do you feel about Broncos Colts?
Colts 20-26.
28, huh?
Heck yeah. 28-24. I got you.
Nice. You got more. You got more fantasy. You got. What'd you trade?
No worry.
Would you
I
trade?
go Broncos 2017 in this game as well. Defense is going to dominate. I feel like Colts are in for a rooted awakening. Would I trade London in for James Conner and Jacoby Myers? In all honesty, no. I'd keep London. What do I do with Njoku? Should also hold Njoku, and you can pick up Jawan Johnson for some safety. Kansas City, always Super Bowl.
No.
Again, Kansas City's roster is a lot different this year than years past. Again, I can say that all I want. I'll back it up. Again, they're clearly a tier below the Ravens and the Bills as of right now.
Yeah, I feel like Kansas City's Super Bowl window is definitely closing. I just feel like the Ravens and the Bills were better, like you said. I feel like they're just a tier above. I agree with that 100%. I had to turn off joins because it was blowing up my feed, so I appreciate y'all stopping in. Let's go ahead and get to the Panthers Cardinals if we didn't already get. No, we didn't get there. Panthers at Cardinals, 6.5-point favorites for the Cardinals, which is crazy. They're really disrespecting your Panthers, Brandon. All right, I got Panthers 20-17 though. I think the Cardinals don't pick up the W here. I feel like against the Saints, they were pretty lousy. And honestly, I think the Panthers are better than the Saints, and I see the Panthers eking it out here because they're, like you said, they're pissed off. They're pissed off they got beaten the way they did, and I feel like they just go in and get that W. I feel like Bryce Young's better than Kyler Murray in certain aspects and circumstances. That's in my opinion. I don't know. Kyler Murray is just like he's like this big, running around with that big behind football.
Bryce Young is the same height.
Yeah.
All right, fine. They're both shorts. It's the midget bowl, I guess, if you want to call it that. So.
Goodness.
All right,
Brandon, how do you feel about your home team Panthers? Oh, it totally biffed out there.
I gotta fix you, Brandon.
All good. Brandon will text us his pick. I pick Cardinals 23, Panthers 20. I feel like the Cardinals didn't look the sharpest again because Kyler Murray's illness, if that had anything to do with the game. I feel like some missed opportunity with him and Marv at the start of the game with that slant pass that could have went to the house.
Cardinals, Brandon.
And I'm not really a big Panthers fan as far as the way their offense looks so far. Again, offensive line was propped up to be really good and has been struggling. So
they said Cardinals 21-10. Gene says, who do you think goes to the Super Bowl? I believe it's Packers Bills in my opinion if I had to pick one, but I would really hope it's Commanders Bills wild card or Commanders Ravens. That'd be a great Super Bowl. That's just my opinion though, coming from a Commanders fan. Bella Danger or Violet Myers?
You know ball, my sir. I plead the fifth. Okay.
It might better work.
I traded away Kittle for Jalen Warren. I already have Brock thoughts. You could have gotten more for Kittle, in my opinion, even though he's injured, or you could have held him and traded him later. Quentin or Hollywood, I'd lean Hollywood. Jonathan Taylor for ETN, Keon Coleman. I'd keep JT in all honesty. Keep Scadaboo or drop for Charbonnet. Pick 2, Judy Diggs, Coleman, Tillman. I would lean Judy and Coleman as of right now. Choose 2 wide receivers, DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers, Calvin Ridley, Chris Olave. DJ Moore, Calvin Ridley, in all honesty. Jacoby's tough there. I would say safest floor is definitely Myers, Olave, but upside you're going DJ Moore, Calvin Ridley. Drop Diggs or Matthew Golden for Keenan Allen or Johnston. That's tough. I never really like pack receivers like that, but telling you to drop him for Keenan would be kind of crazy. Oh, Jay Reed for Aaron Jones. Yeah, most definitely. Jane Reed's garbage. As far as fantasy goes, boom bust. Aaron Jones, of course, still catching the ball. But Keenan or Johnston, I would honestly, man, that's tough. I wouldn't. I would stick with your guys for now. Those are hold candidates anyway.
I have Hampton, K9, JCM, Charb, Mason, Blue, B-Rob. Do I need to trade for a better running back or wait? B-Rob? Brian Robinson Jr.?
Yeah. I would try to, if you can, try to package K9 and Charb for a really good starter. I don't think that's a bad move at all. But yeah, I would try now. If you can't get the value out of Walker, maybe wait a week. Mark Andrews for Aaron Jones Sr. I don't mind that. So, sorry about that.
Eagles Chiefs 3 times. All right, Eagles Chiefs. But wait, you got Metcalf or McConkey for the flex?
McConkey.
Oh yeah, laddie lad. Appreciate the follow, TXG. All right.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Eagles Chiefs. Chiefs 1.5-point favorites at home. I got Eagles 24-20 though. I like the Eagles more than the Chiefs in my opinion. Defensively, offensively. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes on that side, fourth quarter dog, but at the same time, I just like the more balanced attack with Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, and hopefully AJ Brown gets more involved this week for fantasy purposes for their owners. Yeah, Eagles 24-20 in my opinion. What you got?
Okay. Brandon's texting to his right now, it looks like. Oh,
Yep.
I can hear you. Yeah,
Barely, yeah.
Eagles 28-21.
Hey, that's where it counts.
Okay.
Eagles 28-21.
And I'm going to be contrary to your guys' pick here. I'm going Chiefs 20-17. I really feel like the Chiefs are good at stopping what the Eagles do best, which is run the ball. You look at how they controlled the ball against the Chargers last week as far as the run game goes, and I feel like that's kind of same case scenario here. The offense is going to have more time to prepare without Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice. I believe that helps them out a lot, maybe get more creative looks for Hollywood Brown, who was just peppered with targets week 1 due to the absence. And Chiefs losing their home opener and going 0-2 does not sound like in the cards for me. I'm going Chiefs.
Oh yeah. Did you answer the Henderson or Diggs chat?
Henderson or Diggs? I would lean Henderson.
And then you also got Pollard, Diggs, Dobbins, and Michael Pittman or Michael Pittman.
Pollard,
Diggs,
would
Dobbins,
Pollard for ETN, and yes, trade Tucker Kraft for ETN and pick up Juwan. May or Caleb long term, man. I'm kind of leaning Caleb right now.
I would say
fantasy.
Caleb Williams.
Lad K9 and Brock Bowers for Jamar. It kind of depends how the rest of your roster is if you can make a trade like that. Jefferson and Bucky for Bijan and Garrett Wilson. I got Jefferson and Bucky. I prefer the other side, but that's not bad. Just because Garrett Wilson now is looking like an elite wide receiver one. I have London, Jefferson, Pittman, Jason, Buka, but
Keenan and Johnson and Coleman on the bench.
That's a really good team. Hold Ingram while hurt. I have Tucker Kraft.
I feel dumb with this. I have no idea what
I mean, if you could put Ingram on IR, you can. But otherwise, I wouldn't mind dropping him in all honesty. His role doesn't look to be the same in this Broncos offense. Connor and Terry for Garrett Wilson. In all honesty, oh, that's tough. Because Pollard, when Spears comes back, you don't know what his receiving is going to look like. I would lean the Connor Terry side for now.
Johnny Smith or Mark Andrews, but I'm pretty sure you. What do you think?
What's up with Mark Andrews?
Should you start Johnny Smith or Mark Andrews?
Ooh, that's tough. I would lean Mark Andrews. I don't like either of those options.
And then London, Jefferson, he already said that. I don't know if you heard.
Keep those receivers. I mean, that receiver room's great. Honestly, the only other
Big Jeff.
Yeah, big Hav. I would maybe Coleman over Pittman, but even then, I would just keep your roster. Which two to start? JMO Adams, Egbuka Coleman. I would go Egbuka Adams, Evans and Tet for Neighbors, 1000%.
Jesus Christ loves you. Love him too.
Heck yeah. Which two do I start for running backs this week? ETN and Omarion. What about Tracy and Terry? Yeah, no. Am I giving too little? You want to give too little. Of course. Chase and McBride, and I get Lamb, Chase Brown, and Merritt. It kind of depends who your backup tight end is, Jason. I like that, though. Should I drop Jonnu Smith or Mark Andrews for Juwan? I would drop Jonnu. What about Tracy and Terry for Wilson? No. Again, good deal. And Jason, again, kind of depends who the rest of your roster is. You guys want to go ahead to the next game?
All right, Start golf or Penix this week?
Golf or Penix? Man, that's tough. I would lean Penix. Has more rushing upside, in my opinion.
Yeah, he looked really solid last week. We have Falcons at the Vikings, 4.5-point favorites for the Vikings. I'm going Falcons 17-10. Just feel like it's an ugly game. JJ McCarthy doesn't command the same success he did against the Bears. And just feel like everybody's going to be doubting the Falcons because it's the Falcons. Why be with them? Michael Penix was looking real well too. And I like Bijan Robinson and Michael Penix in that backfield. I just like the Russian aspect alone. I think gets them the win.
Heck yeah. Giving up Kamara and Egbuka for BTJ, is that worth? I would hold Kamara and Egbuka for now. Wait another week or two for Egbuka's value to jump more, and then see. I think you could get a little more than BTJ. Jaden Higgins for Hollywood Brown. If you're going short term, Hollywood Brown. Long term, Jaden Higgins has a little more upside there. But Mark Andrews or Ingram for Juwan. I would drop Mark Andrews over Ingram and get Juwan because, again, Lively is coming back, or likely is coming back. My apologies. And he's going to take more from Mark Andrews. Drop Diggs for Booty. I wouldn't personally. You're playing the long play with Diggs, not the short play. He's just getting worked into the offense. Sorry, Brandon. Who do you pick? Vikings or Falcons?
First off, testing.
Good? Yeah.
Good. Okay. I got Vikings 24-14.
24-14 Vikings?
Yep.
Heck yeah.
We're going to get your mic fixed, Brandon. Stay back after streaming. I'll fix it for you.
Okay.
The Vikings 23-17 is my pick. I kind of meet in the middle between your guys's picks. I think home opener for the Vikings. I know Falcons are going to be pissed coming off a loss, and they're going to play hard. But I think this is too much to deal with for the Falcons defense. They had it easy last week. I don't think the Buccaneers performed that well on offense, and I think the Vikings perform a little better and win at home.
Love the difference in opinions there. You got some more chat. Pick up Fields for Dak Prescott.
Yeah. Fields is there. Pick him up for Dak. Pick 2 tight ends, Juwan Johnson. I would go Juwan Johnson and Tucker Kraft there. Jonnu Smith for Aaron Jones. Yep. Drop Golden for Pittman. You're wanting to hold Golden. I think Pittman is kind of flash in the pan as of right now. They're going to want Tyler Warren more involved, even though he was really involved week 1. And also Josh Downs figures to be more involved when he becomes healthier off that hamstring injury. Just traded Amon-Ra for Josh Jacobs and Myers. Thoughts? My RB2 was Pacheco. I actually like that deal a lot. Amon-Ra is going to be worse this year.
Yeah, that offense. I don't think he performs as well.
Rome or Devontae? I would go Rome. I have Jane Daniels as well, so leading Debo and ETN in the week. That's not bad. Trade Bowers and Kyron for CD and Hawkinson. I'm not a big Hawkinson fan this year. In all honesty, I would keep Bowers and Kyron. Bowers, I don't think will miss this week either, so you should be good. Pick up Fannin or Johnson. Will Kittle on IR? I would go Johnson over Fannin. Should I start Sharp over K9? Such a bad situation. Man, it is such a bad situation. It looks like Sharp is getting the goal line work. If I was held at gunpoint and needed, or pew point, and was needing someone to start, I would start Sharp over K9 just for the goal line aspect.
Oh, you heard it here first, man. Come to JDB Sports for your fantasy needs.
Heck yeah.
As well as weekly streams at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday, and we do shorts as well. You'll be seeing shorts from this curly head MF right over here, and then I'll be making some as well. All right, so we got Buccaneers at Texans. Texans 2.5 point favorites at home. I got Texans 24-23 in a close one, and not really much to say about it. Just feel like it's one of those offensive shootout games. I'm not going to say it's the defenses for each team perform poorly. I don't know. I have a feeling for the Texans. I feel like they bounce back here.
Okay. Brandon.
I got Bucks 24-21.
24-21 Bucks.
Heck yeah. Okay. Man, this is the toughest game for me to call. And when they're tough games for me to call, I typically go with the underdog here, and I'm going to go Buccaneers 19-16 in a defensive slugfest. I really feel like Todd Bowles is going to dial up some great pressures to get after CJ Stroud. He's going to run into some trouble. The offense is going to struggle to finish out drives, in my opinion. We're going to end up with a lot of field goals on both sides, and Ollie Baker and the boys.
Trade Trevion for Coleman. I am RB heavy.
Man, I wouldn't do that. If you need another wide receiver, you could probably get someone better than Coleman. Even though the volume was there week 1, I just feel like that the Bills had to pass a lot and everything, late game scenario. I'm not too big of a fan of Bills receivers in general in fantasy. Is Pickens a hold for season or get rid? I would hold him a little bit more, see what his value is. Garrett Wilson or ETN. As far as this week goes, I'd lean Wilson, but I don't mind either play. You're in a great spot.
I feel like Pickens can open up this week. A little CD if you got him against the Giants.
Yeah,
But
CD had a really good fantasy week. Pickens was just didn't have the target enough. Our Achane and Kamara holder trade. If you can get rid of Achane, I personally would. Achane and Kamara, if you can trade them for RB value good or better, I would. Because again, those are really bad offenses, and even with the passing volume, man, it just gets scary. Nix or Penix or Fields? Fields definitely this week. Juwan or Strange or Jonnu or Hunter Henry? I would go Juwan over all of those. And if you want me to rank them in order, I would go Juwan 1, Strange 2, Henry 3, Jonnu 4.
I honestly didn't even think Hunter Henry was even still in the league, to be honest with you. So shows how much I know about that one. Yeah.
Oh, he's a dog. He's a dog. And talk about dogs. Let me give my prediction for the Chargers before I get caught up with anything else. Chargers, Raiders. Chargers 27-20. We're bringing it to the division rivals, and we're kicking butt.
I feel like Chip Kelly's offense stalls a little bit here. Ashton Jency does get going just a tad bit, but Chargers defense is too stingy. 35-17, Chargers take the dub.
Man, crush.
Sorry,
I would also lean. I would lean McLaurin over Diggs week 2. Flex start Pickens, Coleman, Swift. Honestly, I think Swift is going to have the best week of these three. Coleman going up against Sauce Gardner, plans to be shadowed a lot by him. I wouldn't start Pickens this week over Swift. I get Jamar, Chuba, Keon for Kyron, Nico, and Jacoby. Man, that's tough. I don't know. I still lean that Kyron, Nico, Jacoby side, but I don't mind either. They're pretty even. RBs are a Monroe. Nice. Yeah, you do need a little better of an RB2 though, Landon. Okay.
Brandon, what's your pick for the Chargers at Raiders?
I got 28-21.
Chargers 28-21? All right, nobody's picking the Raiders. And if the Raiders win, we're gonna be back here feeling salty next week. So, but it is what it is. I hope the Chargers get that win. So, you can wrap it up for fantasy questions. If y'all want to keep asking, come on in for the next couple more minutes, and then we're gonna have to head out because definitely ran over the time. But
heck yeah!
Glad for the engagement. Glad that y'all tuned in, and I hope y'all tune in more often. I appreciate y'all coming here. So go ahead and get those fantasies out while you still have them. And then we'll get on.
Coleman first, Keenan second, Johnston third, Big Hov. And then also covering some best bets for the week. I just wanted to throw 2 out there that I thought were really good value. Kenneth Walker, Jordan Mason, or Tyrone Tracy. As far as starting this week, I would kind of lean Jordan Mason. No. I'm going to lean Tyrone Tracy this week against the Cowboys defense. It would go Tyrone Tracy, Jordan Mason, then Kenneth Walker as far as this week goes.
Looking at Malik Neighbors anytime touchdown too versus Cowboys, and on the opposite side, I'm looking for CD or George Pickens, and maybe Javonte Williams touchdown on a sneak. But again, Giants defensive line is pretty decent. So
yeah. I don't know what my most confident pick would be this week, man. It's pretty rough. Let me go this. Normally I don't go with a double-digit favorite. Give me the Ravens minus 10.5. I feel like they cover that pretty comfortably.
All right, you got some more chat. Etienne or Hampton?
I would lean Juwan Johnson. Sorry, Etienne or Hampton. As far as this week goes, man, I would slightly go Hampton, even though you're in a really good spot. Would you go Sutton or Pearsall at flex? I would go, man. I would lean Pearsall especially if Juwan Jennings does not play. I would lean Pearsall, but you can't go wrong there. Drop Dobbins for Rodgers super flex. I would personally. You're getting more value out of Rodgers in a super flex. What kind of RB can Moore and Tracy get? In need of an RB2. Man, you're looking at probably like a 4th or 5th round guy. You're looking at maybe like a DeAndre Swift, man. it's not the best situation to be in. Should I pick up Ertz or Fannin, Wilson or Pearsall? If you're talking Garrett Wilson. ETN for Tyler Warren. I got Cook, Taylor and Krosky Merritt. Tight end is Andrews. I don't mind that. I like that a lot. Tyler Warren has a lot of upside. And kind of for some context, guys, my team right now is Caleb Williams, CMC, Chuba Hubbard, Drake London, Emeka Egbuka, Tyler Warren, Cortland Sutton. So that kind of gives you, and that's 12-man PPR. So if that can give you any insight, Jonnu and Travis Hunter for Aaron Jones, I don't like that personally. I think Jordan Mason is the better option in that Vikings backfield than Aaron Jones, who's the best running back waiver. Benson and Sampson are on my waivers. I would lean Benson, actually. Better offense than the Browns. I feel like even if Sampson receives a lot of that receiving work, I feel like Benson is higher upside. Sampson's just not going to be a guy you're starting week in, week out. I would prefer Benson.
We got to get one more follower to get 20 on the stream and get 50. And that'd be
please,
that'd mean the world.
man.
Just drop that follow. Appreciate y'all. We'll be back here every week with that. Just so you know. Appreciate the follow, user. And Jorge, appreciate the follow. 51,
Thanks.
Let's go.
Is that a good place to wrap things up?
Yeah, 21's my lucky number. 3 kids, 7 times 3 is 21. Let's go. 21 is my number.
Yes.
All right, guys. We have to wrap it up for tonight. We'll be back next Tuesday at 8:30. Keep an eye on your TikTok, YouTube, wherever you subscribe. You guys will be getting shorts throughout the week. Any breaking news, you'll hear it here pretty damn quick. So,
yep.
One more. We're gonna take this last one at Choctaw. We got Pearsall or Tyreek.
If Purdy plays, you got to go Pearsall. If Purdy doesn't play, then I go Tyreek.
Let's go. All
Appreciate you, Choctaw.
Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody for the engagement. We'll be back here next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Meanwhile, watch your feeds. Look out for us. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.